Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We're so delighted to welcome the South Florida Haiti Project to Congregational Vitality to talk about the wonderful ministry that they have been doing in Haiti, supporting our brothers and sisters, people in a constant state of need, showing the way forward with water and schools and places to live and food and all of those things that South Florida Haiti Project has been doing quietly for many, many years. On this day, though, of September 11th, let us pray for the whole human family. Oh God, you made us in your own image and redeemed us through Jesus, your Son. Look with compassion on the whole human family. Take away the arrogance and hatred which infect our hearts. Break down the walls that separate us. Unite us in bonds of love and work through our struggle and confusion to accomplish your purposes on earth, that in your good time all nations and races may serve you in harmony around your heavenly throne. Through Jesus Christ, our Lord.
Amen.
Amen. My name is Deborah Mcconaughey, and I'm one of the coordinators of Congregational Development. Jody Gonzalez is one of the co-coordinators with Congregational Development, and I would like to welcome South Florida Haiti Project, and if you might take a second to introduce yourselves.
Andrew Sherman, I'm the rector of St. Gregory's in Boca, as well as the president of the South Florida Haiti Project.
Welcome, Andrew.
Thank you.
Sheila Acevedo Limontas. I am a vocational deacon and spend my life working with the poor and the needy. And I am the vice president of South Florida Haiti Project.
Welcome, Sheila.
Paul Kane, I serve as rector of St. Paul's in Delray Beach and a board member of the South Florida Haiti Project.
Welcome, Paul.
I'm Beth Shires. I'm board member and treasurer for South Florida Haiti Project.
Well, we're so glad that you're here. And we, at the beginning of each one of our programs, our conversations and connections, we use the FAMA Bible study as a way to give our mission and ministry some a context, and also to use this as an introduction to what we think is a marvelous Bible study. We encourage vestries, committees, organizations to begin your meetings with this Bible study. And you can see, if you're following along from our agenda, it's called the FAMA Bible Study. FAMA stands for Facts, Association, Meaning, and Action. Facts reflect and discuss what was done or seen in the reading. Association, connect the experience to your own feelings and lives. Meaning, identify and discuss the deeper meaning of the experience and its importance. Action, invite people to take action. And we've chosen as our reading today for South Florida Haiti Project, John chapter 11, verses 38 through 45. And if someone might like to, if you have your reading with you today, not to put you on the spot or anything, if someone would like to just begin the reading.
Where is the agenda?
It's on the top of the the email. It's a
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'll do the reading.
I'll start reading.
Okay, great.
Then Jesus, again greatly disturbed, came to the tomb. It was a cave, and a stone was lying against it. Jesus said, "Take away the stone." Martha, the sister of the dead man, said to him, "Lord, already there is a stench because he has been dead for 4 days." Jesus said to her, "Did I not tell you that if you believed, you would see the glory of God?" So they took away the stone, and Jesus looked upward and said, Father, I thank you for having heard me. I knew that you always hear me, but I have said this for the sake of the crowd standing here, so that they may believe that you sent me. When he had said this, he cried with a loud voice, Lazarus, come out. The dead man came out, his hands and feet bound with strips of cloth, and his face wrapped in a cloth. Jesus said to them, unbind him and let him go. Many of the Jews, therefore, who had come with Mary and had seen what Jesus did, believed in him.
So we selected this reading because it reminded us so much of South Florida Haiti Project. And we wanted to honor the work that you all have been doing quietly, step by step, every day, trying to bring about real change in the lives of the people, as well as bring about real change in the lives of people that go and minister and go on mission to them. And so just, we're gonna just spend a few minutes on this Bible study. Let's for a moment reflect and discuss what was done or seen in this reading. What happened there?
Well, Jesus really has kind of the encounter with Martha, which is always a beautiful moment, and then the visit to the tomb and the shouting into the darkness. So those for me are two, and of course what happens is Lazarus comes forth, which is, I guess that's the overwhelming fact that at least for me of this reading.
Thank you. Anybody else want to comment on the first point, first question?
I love the unbind him and setting free part of it, that's what Christ offers all of us.
Yeah.
One of the things I noticed is he tells them what to do. Jesus tells them what to do.
I've been blessed to have gone on several Holy Land pilgrimages, and only one pilgrimage that I went on did we actually go to Bethsaida and visit the tomb of Lazarus. And it's interesting that it's in, currently today, it's in Palestinian territory. It's east of Jerusalem, which is governed by, or at least under the Palestinian Authority. And when you go in, it is an incredibly poor area. Street lights are not only not working, but oftentimes broken out. Open sewage on both sides of the street. I mean, it is a desperately poor area of East Jerusalem. And I remember asking our guide, how long has this been this poor? And he said, it has always been this poor. And he stressed always. And he said, no doubt this was a very poor area when Jesus was alive. So for me, this reading, I think part of the backstory for this reading for me is Martha and Mary and Lazarus and their neighbors were very intentional friends of Jesus. Jesus spent a lot of time when he would come and go from Galilee to Jerusalem for high holy days. He would spend it with them. And so for me, part of this is that it makes real the Psalms, the Lord hears the cry of the poor. God is a friend of the poor. In this case, God literally, is the friend of the poor. And Jesus, these were his friends. And so on another level, this is very much, Jesus, and we all know that, he wept, and just the friendship and the intentionality of Jesus's relationship with Mary, Martha, and Lazarus and their neighbors.
Thank you. Let's move on to association now. Connect the experience to your own feelings and lives. So connect that Lazarus moment, we might say, that Jesus moment to your own experience, feelings and lives.
For me, picking up on what Beth said earlier, that unbind him and let him go is such a powerful moment. And in my own life and ministry, there's times where you can just feel and do feel, or I have felt, bound, it kind of constricted and not necessarily at the point of death, but to just feel, gosh, overwhelmed and overwrought. And the way in which the Spirit of Jesus and the Spirit of God has freed me and opened new life and breath in me, and that feeling of being unbound by God's grace. I experience that regularly. Again, maybe not quite as dramatically and definitively as Lazarus, but I can identify with that feeling of being made free and with new life from God's grace.
I had an incident in my life where I was told I had 6 months to live. And at that time I was a lay person and I was studying a ministry course. And I was praying to God. I was preparing for death, but I hadn't told my family. And I was praying to God to let me continue my ministry. And a couple months in, my doctor called me and said, I need to see you immediately. And when I went to him, he said, we found the problem and we can work on it and we can save you. And I had been praying day and night. I had even, given away some of my jewelry to my family at Christmas and things. And they were like, why are you giving us, your diamonds and your emeralds or, whatever. And I just smiled and said, well, I want everybody to have what they, can have from me because I don't have a lot of money. But I finished the course and then it was so funny because God has a sense of humor. And I thought he was going to allow me to do my lay ministry, but he put a collar on me. And now I spend my life working for God. And it's just so real. And I've seen it so many times with people. It's miraculous that when you think you're at your last end, if you hold on to Jesus, it can totally change.
Thank you, Sheila. Let's move on to meaning. Identify and discuss the deeper meaning of the experience and its importance. I mean, if I might say something to you, South Florida Haiti Project, to me, this story is the lived experience of what you all are doing. I mean, I love that image of that cave was dark. It was, it would have been easy to just walk on by. Mm-hmm. A lot going on. Paul said it was really poor neighborhood. It would be easy to just walk on by. And as Christians, we're not really called to that. And sometimes we fall short on that command that Jesus gave, which was unbind. Jesus could have gone in and done that himself. But we're called in a co-creation or ministry of love to, as in Columba, we call that being the hands and feet of Christ. And to me, that's what you all are doing in South Florida Haiti Project. So that's where that's why I selected this passage actually.
Something that came to mind while you were speaking, Deborah, too, in this passage is the deep deep friendship and connection that Christ had with Mary and Martha and Lazarus. It wasn't surface. He was deeply committed and involved with them. And that's what we try to do with our partnership in Bondo, is that we have deep, committed, intimate relationships with our partners, our brothers and sisters in Christ in Bondo. And so things dawn as I think about this. It didn't hit me right away, but I think that's a really powerful message for me here, is that our friendships and partnerships with Bondo are unique and special and given by Christ to us. So
Yeah,
it's not as much what we can do for them as it is what we can do for them.
It's so true. It's so
exactly. And that's what I was thinking too, Beth, is the intentionality of our relationship is, and there's such a deep mutuality. It's interesting, Deborah. I mean, the image of the reading, believe it or not, for me, I very much see the person bound and coming out of death as being us, as being our congregations, ourselves who are, and it is the faith and the perseverance and the witness of our brothers and sisters in Bondo that speak the voice of Christ to us and call us out of death, out of darkness, into life and light. So it's we who are being unbound, I think, more so than anything in our relationship with the people of Bondo.
Thank you. Thank you. And so now this is this last point is the action, invite people to take action. And so then when we finish with this point, let's just jump right into the presentation. And so what in this reading invites people to take action? What's the invitation? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think this is what many people think of, maybe, but when Jesus says, if you believe, you'll see the power of God, and so on, I'm always astonished by the message that comes through to me with my brothers and sisters in Haiti. God is big, and God is active and transforming. And sometimes when we find ourselves in the kind of the weeds of, okay, post earthquake or post hurricane or post economic distress, it's hard to see that. And then every once in a while we back up and say, God is so active and alive and transforming in this. And so Jesus says, believe, I'm at work. So anyway, that's, it's not an action step in terms of pick up a, as it were, a hammer and start doing a mission trip. Not that that's not a bad thing. We can talk about that. But more the idea of trusting and believing that God is present and alive in this relationship and partnership.
I mean, I just have to say, this is totally off topic, but yesterday was the anniversary of Hurricane Irma. And, our building is still destroyed. And, coming from that perspective, I wonder what Lazarus was thinking when Jesus said, come out, Lazarus. When we hear that, when we hear Jesus say to us, come out, Lazarus, the invitation in that is transformational.
And we have concrete examples of the transformation in our school children, in our sick who are healed or sustained with the medical assistance, the children who are given hope with the teachers and the library we're building and the classes, the young adults who are able to finish school and go on to something else and maybe do something they never even dreamed they could do, like become a nurse or become a doctor or a teacher or a business person. And the God is big sign. I mean, when I visited and we were down there on a trip and I saw it on a building and had to take a picture because their hearts are so big because God is so big and the partnership is so big and it goes beyond words and it goes beyond the few dollars, whatever we send, whatever the food packing, all the things we do is God's hands are on it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And so if we want to just move right into the presentation now, we are so happy to hear about what you've been up to.
Sure. Well, again, on behalf of my fellow board members who are here, Deborah and Jody, delighted for the invitation to be part of this conversation and to share. And we thought what we would do is walk you through a presentation that gives a kind of general overview of our work and ministry. And so I'll ask Beth to tee it up in just a moment. Thank you, Beth. And then I'll lead us through this, but then I'd like to, at the end of the presentation, ask my fellow board members to add a little extra color or perspective, maybe of things that I've missed or didn't quite underscore enough. So again, thank you. So South Florida Haiti Project, we've been active for approximately 15 years, a little more. It started out as a ministry of St. Gregory's, but then just got bigger than St. Gregory's. And we at St. Gregory's recognized we needed partners, and so we formed the South Florida Haiti Project. Our shared partnership with the people of Bondo, excuse me one second, I gotta get, there we go, of Bondo, Haiti, is to journey together, embracing the transformative power of God's love. Core values for us: partnership, journeying together, and the transformative power of God's love. Really a big defining values and features of our project and ministry. Next slide. Bondo is literally difficult to find on the map, even for Haitians. But we have it circled in red there. Port-au-Prince, of course. Some people describe Haiti as if you take your hand and separate your thumb and your fingers, you've got a hand. So we're on the thumb that reaches out into the water there. Bondo's about halfway out. Maraguan, which you can see underneath, is a town that's fairly well known to Haitians. There's a port in Maraguan, a small port. So many people know Maraguan, and Bondo is just outside of Maraguan. It's about 45 kilometers or miles, I should say, from Port-au-Prince. Next slide, please. We thought we'd just give an orientation about the earthquake and where Bondo is. So we were in Bondo, just on the edge of the epicenter of the earthquake, and so our friends in Les Cayes, our friends in Petit-Trou-de-Nieppe, they really felt it hard, but we definitely were shaken in Bondo during the earthquake. Next slide. The journey to Bondo begins with an arrival at Port-au-Prince, as it is for just about everybody who travels to Haiti. And Port-au-Prince is a huge city. The vitality and also the poverty are just part of the images and scenes and sights and smells that you have as you walk through. People on the street, walking, doing about their business. Then as you leave Port-au-Prince, you move into a more rural part of Haiti. And so see, these are some of the images literally on the road to Bondo. You know, Haiti is a beautiful place. It's mountains and ocean. I mean, it's Hawaii, and it's gorgeous and lush. But it's challenging. Life in Bondo is hard. We have no potable water. So for people in the community to get drinking water, they literally climb about a mile or so up, carrying these 5-gallon kinds of buckets on their head and fill them up. So I've made that climb many a time, and there's no electricity in the town. We do have, as we'll say a little later, some solar power projects and panels, but there's no electricity provided by the country of Haiti to the community. Next slide. And yet, for all of us who are in partnership with our brothers and sisters in Christ, immense joy. The Haitian people are incredible. They inspire and encourage all of us. You know, Paul spoke earlier about how, you know, we're the ones that get unbound by this relationship, but you know, they are rock stars, so that we always want to accentuate that experience. So guiding principles. Haiti often brings thoughts of extreme poverty, tragedy, and people stuck in hopelessness. A lot of people have that image of Haiti, you know, and while those images are real, it's not all there is to Haiti. And so we seek to focus on these amazingly resilient people, vibrant culture, creativity, beauty, possibility. And we really want our Haitian brothers and sisters to be the center of their stories. We're not the white Americans, rich Americans. We're not the colonialists coming in, to help the benighted poor. We're seeking to journey beside, together, to partner, and to focus on God's transformative power in the midst of all this. And we try to demonstrate that by working very closely with the leadership of Bondo, not just the priest in charge, Father Fanor, Père Fanor, but also with the leadership of the community, and to listen to their dreams and challenges. And so being part of the mission of the South Florida Haiti Project is you invest in this partnership, in the Haitian leaders and their community doing the transformative work in education, community development, health, and sustainability. Partnership is a huge word for us. So here are some of the congregations in our diocese who are active in this partnership: St. Paul's, St. Gregory's, Good Shepherd, Cuesta, Bethesda by the Sea, St. Mark's, Palm Beach Gardens, St. Andrew's, Cutler Bay, Bishop Holly Mission, Delray Beach. And some of the nonprofits we work with: Water for Small Villages, Masada Architects, Food for the Poor, fellow Haitian Partnerships, the New York Haiti Project, which has a partnership with the town of Martel, which is a sister community to Bondo, the formerly called Colorado Haiti Project, which has recently rebranded and renamed itself as Locally Haiti, Teaching with Heart, and the Center for Strategic Planning. Just some of the various nonprofits we partner with. Our vision is a strengthened partnership with the children, women, and men of Bondo, invisible on maps and charts. We really emphasize that. Even for Haitians, Bondo is invisible. But our vision is ensuring that all are seen, heard, known, valued, and benefit from life-sustaining and life-enhancing opportunities. Here's an image of a recent trip we had to Bondo, where our board leaders met with the community leaders. That's something we try to do every year. We've been stymied a little bit, as we all have, by both COVID and the political situation in Haiti. But that's an essential part of our feature, of our life. This is a video we just recently produced. You're going to need to put some sound on it, Beth. Beth, I'm not hearing it. Is anyone else hearing it?
Did you hear, are you not hearing it?
I didn't know. I was not getting sound. Were other people getting sound?
No,
No.
Okay, well, then we're going to, that's odd. I don't know.
Yeah, I tell you what, why don't we keep going through a pause on this and then we'll go back to
I
that.
can, yeah,
Yeah, can you go back one slide, please, Beth? Because I just wanted to, because it was a good slide.
yeah, this is gonna build on the,
Yeah, let me just go ahead through, Beth, let me go through the rest of the PowerPoint presentation.
okay, all right.
And then we'll come back to the video because it's
All
the
right.
video is really good work. We wanted to share a little bit about our specific ministries in the partnership. Education is at the core of, if there's a centerpiece to our ministries, I would say education is what we perceive as the centerpiece. We support a school with over 300 students in grades preschool through 13. In Haiti, they go through grade 13, not grade 12. Next slide. The day begins with a very colorful and joyous flag raising, and it's a highlight of any visit to Haiti to sort of share in that flag raising moment. There's musicians who usually play a song. The children, after gathering in the central courtyard area, then proceed on to their classrooms, and the colors of the uniforms and the excitement of a new school day are always a part of that. So here are some images from the classrooms. Uniforms are part of the Haitian experience. There's our secondary school. We, over the years, have constructed these buildings. Next slide. Some, again, images from some of the older students, just to see them. We also have started, well, it's now not just started, it's been over 3 years. We have a night school to teach adults in the community basic literacy and education skills. And it's really been an exciting part to see some community members who haven't had those skills to have an opportunity to learn some of those basic literacy skills. Again, as part of our education mission, we do teacher training. We partnered with Teaching by Heart, which is led by Dr. Diane Allardyce, who is a professor at a college of education, as well as the leader of the Haitian American high school in the Boynton Beach area. Feeding for our children is a big part of it. St. Mark's in Palm Beach Gardens has been a leader, along with Good Shepherd Tequesta, in developing an annual food packing program, which then provides food for the children for lunch. We actually try to provide an entire year's worth of food through our food packing events, and we're able to do that last year. It's always a challenge for us, but you know, an empty sack cannot stand. It's a Haitian proverb, and that proverb is often quoted when we talk about our feeding ministry. You know, if empty sacks can't stand, so feeding the children is critical.
And just to mention that because we could not do food packing this year for 2021, we did food pairing.
Yes,
and had an amazing response. All 300 children were sponsored for the entire year to have lunch through food pairing. And so many new people connected with South Florida Haiti Project through this. If you're out there and hearing this, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Beth, for adding that. We felt this was one of the pivots we made that was really successful during this COVID year. We're also aware that emergency food has been a need for the community, not just post-earthquake, but if you know and have followed the Haitian situation, it's been a year of political instability. You might remember that the president of Haiti was assassinated earlier this summer. and it's been hugely challenged for goods to be transported throughout Haiti. So we've been able to do an emergency food distribution, again, enabled by some of the food pairing. So these are really some, to me, powerful images. And that this is our campus in Bondo. We've had a number of other development projects. One is we've been trying literally for 10 years to bring potable water to the community. We've dug a number of wells. Unfortunately, the water that we've been able to reach has had a saline content that makes it not potable, but it can be used for cleaning and dishwashing and bathing. So this is actually one of the spigots in the community from one of the wells we've dug that is used for household cleaning and bathing and washing. The UTO grant, we've received over the years 2 grants from United Thank Offering, our National Episcopal Church Women in Gathering. Several years ago, we received a grant to purchase musical instruments for the children as part of our music education program. But last year, we received a grant to build a bathroom for the children. The school only had pit latrines, and they really were horribly inadequate. So thanks to a UTO grant, we were able to build a bathroom. The bathroom has just been finished, and school starts on Monday, and I'm so excited about the children being able to use the new bathroom. And UTO has given us a grant. It was a 2-part grant to create a piping project of literally piping that water that's a mile above the community down the mountain into Bondo. That project is underway as we speak, and we hope it's going to be finished, believe it's going to be finished by the end of this year. That will be a truly a joyous moment and a realization of a 10-year vision. In terms, I mentioned this earlier, but we've created some solar power for the community. The church, which is a church that we built post earthquake of 2010, the big 2010 earthquake, and we installed solar panels on the church roof, and so the PA system and some of the electronic music, which is a big part of the worship life of the church in Bondo, is enabled by that. One of our really dynamic partnerships is with Food for the Poor. And in the last, let's say 3 years or so, Food for the Poor has built 65 new homes in Bondo. And there's a picture of one. They are lovely, functional homes. And here's an example of a typical Bondo home. This would be a typical home for community members. So the dramatic difference between this home and the new ones that are being built is really incredible. So thank you. Next slide.
It's stuck for some reason.
Okay. I know what the next slide is. So I
want
to show it.
I know, that's weird.
Okay.
Oh, it's.
I believe it's the God is Big slide. Yeah.
No, it's a comparison of.
Oh yes.
They build the new home in many cases right next to.
Yes, exactly.
The and this is a computer issue. I apologize. My computer is. Can you see the little wheel going around?
No.
Now it's caught. Now it's gone.
All right. Well, we'll go back to. I think.
Hold on.
Yep.
Now it's working again. So we'll go back. Hold on.
Yep.
This is all those times I was clicking. There we go.
Yeah, there's a nice comparison where sort of an older home in the community versus the newly built homes. So thank you. Great image. Yeah. Thanks, Beth. Next. Economic sustainability is another feature of our community life. We've worked with Food for the Poor and with Bethesda by the Sea to create a chicken project, a chicken broiler project, where the community raises the chickens from the egg and then sell them to the local market. And we've, I think, had now 3 cycles of egg to chicken for sale. It employs people in the community, so it provides a little economic benefit, both in terms of labor as well as what we think will be a sustainable economic project for the community. Great to see these faces. One thing I would say is these are our friends in Christ. I know you don't know them, but when we look at these faces, these are our brothers and sisters. I would particularly note that in the left-hand corner, there's 4 faces there. And the person, yeah, that's Will Care, of course. Will Care is the, what would you call it? The senior warden and
Yes.
yeah, and lay leader of the community. But I wanted to point out Adrienne in the white there. The older gentleman in the white is Adrienne. Adrienne is the informal mayor of the community. He's a community elder and is a much respected person in the community. And the other 2 are vestry members at Bon Samaritan, Good Samaritan Church in Bondo. So great to see some of these faces.
If I could just interject there on that too, Andrew, I really, really like the process that the South Florida Haiti Project took with this. This choice of a chicken coop was the community's choice. We did not say, here, we're going to build this for you and you run it. This was from the ground up. This was very grassroots. The community asked us, could you resource and help us to do this? We think this will provide nutrition, provide a sustainable economic model for us. So kudos for the whole process that went into bringing this project to life.
Yeah, thanks for highlighting that, Paul. Excellent.
And it is completely led by that picture up in the left-hand corner, that committee. They completely lead this project.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. Bondo is a place where members of our community in South Florida visit and work. One of the mission trips that was held several years ago built some roofing for our part of our education buildings. So that was a great project. You went by that one fast, Beth. I wanted to just highlight that. I think it was your church.
It was Church of the Advent.
Advent, exactly. I wanted to give you a little, your former church, a little kudos there. And they completed the work in 4 days. So yeah, let's say yay God for all of it.
Yeah, this had the pictures incorporated more than just the roof was in 4 days, but they went back the following year to do painting.
Right.
Yeah, the Haitian communities will work with what they have. And so it's sometimes it's in layers. So you do a little bit and then do a little bit more and do a little bit more. And we've been able to work well as a partner with them to send mission teams to continue to do things in the community.
Sure. But we also emphasize pilgrimage. In fact, for anyone who watches this, if your heart is feeling tugged like, hey, we might like to do more or explore more, we have learned that the best way is to be introduced to Bondo as a pilgrim. And we do when the situation in Haiti enables us to do it. We lead trips to Haiti, familiarization, pilgrimage tours, where you come to Bondo. We usually do it Thursday through Monday, leave Thursday morning, you're back Monday afternoon, and it's a chance to see spend basically an extended weekend with the community. And of course, the children of the community are always so much fun. So this was a an image of some of the children. I remember that day that we had a great walk around the community. And it also gives you a sense of, Bando's a rural place. And it's lush, and this is behind one of the school buildings, and a great image. Thank you.
There will be links that we provide at the end. You'll have a link to find out more about how to get involved in a pilgrimage or a mission trip at the end of the presentation.
Yeah, and this was a, yep.
Sorry.
That's right. That was those were some pilgrims from Good Shepherd Church. And that's Père Fanor at the center there, our Father Fanor. There's Bishop Dorson, the former bishop. He's now retired. So we were visiting him in his office. We have a guest house. This was one of the stories of the earthquake. Our guest house has been substantially damaged by the earthquake, but this is a place where pilgrims and mission teams are able to stay. This is our home away from home in Bando. It's a beautiful facility, and we're now, that's part of our challenge now, is to raise some funds to enable this building to be functional once again. Here are some more images from the community. This is the first good image I think we've had of the new church built in 2015. There it is on the top, inside and outside. It's a first-rate facility. It can actually accommodate about 800 to 900 worshipers when all is said and done. So there's a great image there. That's the slide that I referenced earlier, and that I know Sheila also referenced. God is big, and all of us who saw that etched on top of that door, it's an indelible image, and for us it's become a kind of a signature phrase for all of us involved in this partnership. God is big, bigger than all of us. So here's next steps in keeping with our Bible study earlier today, the action steps. Certainly an easy action step is to visit our website and just learn a little bit more about who we are and what we do. We have a PDF flyer that will be provided that just is something that can be shared with your congregations or with any of your social networks. You're invited to reach out to our board members. I think we have a slide with board members' names.
That's on the resource links page, though. There are some email addresses that you can use for more information or to reach out.
Thank you, Beth. We're always happy to come to your congregation or speak to any kind of group that might have an interest in learning more about it. We've got lots of board members who are always willing to go and represent us. We certainly invite you to pray for the people of Haiti and Bando. I know we are doing this in our diocese, but those prayers are important, impactful, and transformative for us and for our partners. Keep praying specifically for the people of Bando, for our students and teachers, and our ongoing mission in Bando. God is at work in Haiti. God, that's so true. God is big. God is at work, unbinding and letting go. So thank you for your good attention. And Beth, to just give you maybe 3 more minutes. Yeah, I do. I just want to just show the 3-minute video. Then I think we'll have done all the presenting. So are you able to get that up, Beth?
Yeah. Do you see it?
Not yet.
You don't see it. Okay, hold on. I missed a step. I apologize.
No problem.
This presentation is magnificent. It is spectacular.
Thank you, Deborah.
Perhaps if we mute, it will help the production of the internet.
There we go. Sorry.
Hello, my name is Father Andrew Sherman. I'm the rector of St. Gregory's Episcopal Church in Boca Raton and also the president of the South Florida Haiti Project. Thank you for your interest in the South Florida Haiti Project. Our 15-year partnership with the people of Bondo, Haiti is a partnership that has matured and grown over the years. It's a thriving partnership. This partnership has continued through earthquakes, hurricanes, political instability, and economic distress. And the secret holy sauce of our partnership is the work of the Holy Spirit working through this partnership, and it's built on the firm foundation of Jesus Christ. At South Florida Haiti Project, we've developed a capacity to get resources directly to those in need. No intermediaries, no siphoning off, no corruption. And this is something we're very proud of. Other partners that work in Haiti, such as Food for the Poor, has recognized the South Florida Haiti Project and our partnership with Bondo as a model for reliability and sustainability. Through this partnership, hearts and community have been transformed, both in Bondo and in South Florida. Children have been educated, and recent graduates from our school, K through grades 13, are now pursuing higher education and a firm and bright future. Bondo has become a center for pilgrimage and mission for various groups from congregations and individuals. This 15-year partnership is deeply rooted in prayer and mutual encouragement. When we go to Bondo, we come as friends, indeed as family in Christ. And there are tangible fruits of the Spirit. Over these 15 years, we've built school buildings. Over 75 homes in the community have built. We've built a church, the first church that was built after the earthquake in 2010. We've erected a bathroom for the children. We have an active feeding ministry for children in the community. We're developing plans for an ongoing, locally Haitian-led healthcare program for the community. So here's our ask of you. We invite you to learn about our work through reaching out to our board members personally through email or visiting our website, southfloridahaitiproject.org. We ask you to pray about whether you as an individual or your congregation might feel a calling to connect with our mission and ministry in Bondo. Pray for the people of Haiti, the work of the Diocese of Haiti, and our brothers and sisters in Christ in Bondo. Support the diocesan Peel generously with your financial gifts. They will make a life-changing impact. Thank you.
Thank you, Beth. I know we have a smaller group, but why don't we open it up for any conversation, and maybe we could have our the board members. You guys did a great job of adding some emphasis and color as we were going through. Anything else that we would want to say about our partnership?
We also have the video from the bishop for the diocesan appeal, if you think that would be good to share.
No, I would say not that we support the appeal generously, as we said, but maybe I might ask just Deborah and Jody, and I've seen that Heidi is with us. Are there any clarifications or questions that you all would have for us that as you took all of this in?
Well, we've been participating in the food pairing program, and it was just a great idea, and I'm hoping that you're going to continue that and kind of push that out into the community, because the impact on Bondo, knowing that people can count on food every day through thick and thin, even through all of this, is tremendous. So if we wanted to continue to participate in that, how might we do that?
Sure. we normally try to do our food packing or food pairing early in the new year. So I believe we actually have a date in February that we may be doing an in-person packing. But I'm really happy to hear the affirmation about the food pairing approach as well. And certainly we would want to continue that. So frankly, we've been kind of absorbed in the last month or so with the earthquake, and that's where the energy has been going. But so we'll be rolling out our food packing / food pairing towards the end of this year, and certainly in the new year. So stay tuned. We'd love to have St. Columba be involved as well as the larger community. So thanks, Deborah.
And it's particularly because of all of the involvement with food pairing and the support there that we've been able to do some of this emergency food shipment now in this crisis situation. The food was already planned to be going for the school lunches. And so we're able to serve the whole community right now, which means that we're using up half of the year's.
I know. I was about to say that.
We're going to need to replenish and redo. Food pairing was a specific kind of time-bound program for last year, and I don't know how we'll work. It's interesting to hear it's good to hear your interest in that and see how we work with that moving forward.
Yeah, thank you. I want to just echo that. We appreciate getting feedback. Oh yeah, that really struck a chord. The other thing I would say that I think we emphasize in our presentations, but we've developed some competencies over these 15 years. And one of our competencies that we're really proud of is the capacity to get resources directly to the people without a lot of, middle people getting involved or things getting siphoned off or what, is that we know how to get resources to the people in need. And we're really good at that. And I would emphasize, we've done this all. We have no pay. Everybody's a volunteer at South Florida Haiti Project. We don't have any paid staff. We're at a point where we're wondering in our development whether we might need that. So we're certainly active, but we're really proud of the fact that, there's no resources paying for administrative structure. We've just done this together. So yeah.
And I just have one more question, just with regard to the guest house being damaged. And are you still in the assessment part of looking at the guest house, or do you know, okay, this is the part that's damaged and this is what it's going to cost to, rebuild it? Or
yeah, the reason I'm smiling is you're tapping, very active chords right now with our life. We've actually had an engineer, or I should say, Per Fanor, our priest in charge, has had an engineer come in and do some initial assessment of the guest house. And we do already have a quote for this. We are we're wondering, is it possible to do certain staging of this? In other words, can we get it partially repaired where it can be habitable safely for everybody? So that's a very live conversation right now. The issue is we had damage to our guest house, a damage to our school buildings, and some of our solar panels did okay, but the batteries that store the power are not where they need to be. So we have a number of infrastructure challenges that the earthquake has created. And of course, it's always a matter of you've got lots to do and only so many resources. So we're together discerning how best to prioritize. So one of the other features of this earthquake compared to, say, the 2010 experience is the capacity to be in communication with our partners in Bondo is really wonderful. So I could pick up the phone right now and probably get Père Fanor on the phone. So we have that kind of instant communication. We actually had a Zoom meeting with Père Fanor last week. So we're in active conversation about all that. And the other, I'm giving a long answer to a really great question. The other issue too is we, as we emphasize, want the local community of Haiti to direct us with priorities. But then we always have challenges where funders have their priorities. And sometimes those two don't immediately sync. So we've got to together work through that. But our partnership is mature. We're way past the, Americans come in and we're going to give some money and things are get done. Our partnership is deep and it's honest, and we're able to say, hey, we've got funders who want to do this. You want to do this. Now what? What do you want to do? So, and those aren't always easy conversations as we work through them. But that's the Holy Spirit working through this. So thanks for a great question, and you clearly tapped into a very live part of where we're at right now.
I just wanted to mention, we don't have our resident expert, Dr. Charlotte Berry, on, but we do have a medical program, and they are moving towards using right now local doctors and nurses for the program. But one of the things that Haiti is facing right now is the hospitals are stretched. And there is a hospital in the nearby town, in the nearby city that Father Andrew mentioned. However, the medicines, the cost of the medicines, we have people who have high blood pressure, people who have diabetes, even children, and things like that. So if anyone has a heart for that kind of donation, we have the educational needs, the medical needs, the structural needs, and always prayers we have needs for. Missionary needs, if people, once it's safe to travel, that people could go and help to rebuild and help partnership personally. We're also building a library for the children in French, Spanish, and English. And we've sent many books through our networks and school supplies and things like that. And now we're having to do a little more of the partnering rather than the sending, and letting them get the supplies locally if possible. But we still need to remember the medical end of it.
Yeah, thank you. I don't think we said enough about that, and I think Beth wanted to jump in because she's been central to that. So please.
Yeah, I want to just talk about just for a moment about if you do want to donate, you can donate directly to South Florida Haiti Project through our website. If you would like to get our constant contact emails that are keeping people updated of what's happening, there'll be donation button there as well. But we're really asking people, and when you make your donations now, not to make them specific to education or food or to healthcare. As much as we care so deeply about all of those things, right now it's a crisis situation, and we need to be able to have funds to flow to our donors. And we are very serious when people designate things. So our earthquake funds, donations, when you click on to donate for earth relief, those funds are to be used as the partners need in Haiti. And it may be rebuilding, it may be food, it may be education, it may be healthcare. And all of those things are just tremendous needs right now. And I'm glad to say that there was a team from the hospital in Leogan, about an hour and a half away, that was in Bondo yesterday, provide a mobile clinic. And so they're the best way to get resources directly to Bondo is we work through our contacts in Haiti.
Thank
And
you
that's
very
what
much.
Andrew was talking about, is we have been able to develop those relationships over the years. And so it's just a blessing to see it all kind of work.
It is.
Thank you very much for all of this great information. South Florida Haiti Project, thank you seems so small for all of the work that you've been doing for 15 years, quietly, 1 foot at a time. So all I can say is God is big. God is big.
God is big.
Yes.
When we feel small.
God is big, and go in peace to love and serve the Lord. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Jody,
you.
can I ask you to share that page of the resource links?
Absolutely. I'll share
That
all
would
of
be
it.
awesome.
Yeah,
I wish we
And-
could go on pilgrimage right now.
I know. Let's go.
I know. We'll look forward to that day, and we're happy to present at any future time if that would be helpful. So again,
Yeah.
thank you for the invitation to join you
Thank you.
today.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely do this again, but we'll send this out a lot. So thank you again.
Yeah.
God
Thank
bless.
you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
This was great information.
you.
God bless.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.